they say that sparkling water is more hydrating than natural water?
Really, why?
I don't know. I didn't know I was going to have to cite my sources.
Hey, what go on, brethren? Me got a side job. Me talk to you later now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you said you were Haitian. They know you're
Haitian.
an island boy.
Yeah, I'm Haitian. My Jamaican accent is probably bad. I apologize if I offended anyone.
I'll be anywhere, and now I'm not afraid to invite people to church. I'll be at the
Yeah.
club. You want to come to church? Here's a card.
I've seen it happen.
Yes, this is real.
The Montgomery Riverboat Brawl.
It is a new holiday. It is
Yes.
not yet federally recognized.
Y'all want to play?
Yeah.
He throws off his hat.
I remember that.
throws off his
I
hat.
remember seeing that.
Now, the last time a black man threw off his hat and it changed the trajectory of history in the United States
Tell me about it.
was Bobby Shmurda in the Hot Nigga video.
I need you to chill.
What's up, y'all? I'm PJ.
And I'm Les.
And we are...
Two P's and a pod. And P stands for pals, professionals, pretty much anything you want it to.
peers.
Peers. What else? People.
Po' boys.
Po' boys. Love
Yeah.
a shrimp po' boy.
For sure. Shout out to New Orleans.
Pickles.
Okay. And welcome to the second episode of our P-Pod Communities, Two P's in a Pod. Les,
What's going on?
I'm glad you asked. Honestly, I feel like I'm at a good place right now.
Okay.
As you know, in a few weeks from now, it will be a year in Dallas.
A year. Y'all, what is so crazy is, let me not say crazy, it's just very wild that PJ has been here for a year, because I feel like I've known him for so much longer than that. Like, even after 2 months, I felt like you had been here for, like, a very long time. I know I gave you a hard time about that.
Yeah, you did. And time flies when you're having fun.
When you're having fun, right?
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Yeah, look at us. Podcast.
Before your year mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to always be like, it's been 2 months. It's been 6 months.
'Cause
I've
y'all-
been here for 4 months. I was like, okay, cool.
Because y'all stopped treating me like I was new.
Because you were around. I was like, he's around. I see him all the time. I see him at Bible study. I saw him at like social hangouts. I was just like, he's here. He's one of us now, okay? He's a member of Dallas.
But I was intentionally building community, and it looks like I did it right.
You were really into it. Took me a minute to build community in Dallas. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here in Dallas. I know all of our other friends are too.
Yeah, and also with that is my birthday is coming up.
Hey.
Shout out to all the Aquarius out there. You know, my birthday is in February. Do I want to give the date or not give the date?
Give the date so they could
February
celebrate.
7th, 2/7. That'll be my birthday. I'll be turning the big 27. 2/7 on 2/7.
2/7. That's it's not really a golden birthday. The 27th. Well, the
Every-
7th. When you turned 7, that was your golden birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
And
so you didn't
then
get
everything went downhill? Or-
But no, your golden birthday is supposed to be like a really big bash. But since you were 7, I think we should make this year your golden birthday.
We should.
Let's do we should do a big thing.
We'll go all out. We'll share with everyone in the P-Pod.
Yes. If you want to send gifts, you can. We'll tell you where a P.O. box or something.
Facts.
Wink, wink. Don't forget when it's my birthday near the end of the year.
Look,
So-
and we'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to October.
He said, forget you. It's my birthday right now. He said, we'll get there. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Okay. So, what's going on with you?
Honestly, things are going well. I've been in school. I don't think I shared that last episode.
No, I don't think you did. But
I'm in school right now. I'm studying to get my master's in anthropology while working. So it's been quite a balance.
And I think when spring's semester comes about, that's when I feel like it's kind of like, okay, let's hit the ground running and finish out this school year. Yeah.
Okay, for real. But last year I took summer class.
Oh, yeah.
And I liked that. So this year I might do the same. So it might not be over for real, but
Right.
it's lighter in the summer for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, school's going well.
And you still got time to do things for yourself. And I think what I like about spring is it comes at the right time where the new year comes about.
Yeah.
And I think we, of course, talked about that last episode. And you kind of like set your goals. And kind of like I said, you hit the ground running. That's how it feels with like your new semester and whatever
Yeah.
courses you're taking. But also, I feel like the challenge comes in because now you have to also incorporate everything else going on within your life with new courses. But you'll do great, as you always do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all, you don't know that PJ helped me get into my program when I was applying to get into my program. You know, you have like your personal statements or whatever that you have to type. He tore my paper to shreds.
I added comments.
Tore it to shreds. And I love it, okay? Because a real friend is going to tell you, this doesn't make sense. How about you say it this way? He was saying stuff that basically, I feel like you were telling me you're more intelligent than this. Why do you
No.
sound stupid?
No.
It was good, though. It was good. I appreciate it, and I got into my program, and I have PJ partially to thank for that. So
You're welcome, but it was you first. Well, no, it was
tore
God.
it to shreds.
It was you. It was God first, then you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Plus, and there were other friends of mine who helped review, so thank you to you all too. But PJ really was in there.
Let's talk about your friends who because I was trying to help.
Yes.
They thought that I was like an enemy of
There
yours.
One of my friends was like, wow, he wrote so much. Like, yeah. And then felt like they didn't need to write anything anymore. But yes, he wrote a lot. I'm doing well in school right now. I would not be here with a lot of the influences in my life as well as God. So I'm really happy. I'm excited for this semester.
That is a great what's going on.
Yeah. We had 2 good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Awesome. All right. So what are you drinking today?
Okay. So today I am drinking water again.
Okay.
Water again because I need to stay hydrated, especially when it's winter time. I feel like your skin gets super dry. It's cold outside. I mean, relatively, it's Dallas, but water is good. You need to hydrate. I'm in a kick of that right now.
And shout out to the skin.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
With this lighting, you can see everything. So,
Right. What
are you drinking?
So today I decided to switch it up. I know last time I said I had the Topo Chico.
Topo Chico.
Topo Chico.
Yep.
Topo Chico.
Topo Chico.
Yes, that mineral water. Look, that made me feel so hydrated and alive. When we left out of here,
yeah,
I felt like I could have fought an army.
Love that.
Yeah.
They say that, well, not mineral, but sparkling water is more hydrating than natural water.
Really, why?
I don't know. I didn't know I was going to have to cite my sources right now. I'm just telling you. That's what they say.
Is it the same that DJ Khaled was talking about?
It's the same day. I think it's the same day.
Okay. But today I'm having a 2021 Muscat Canelli from Barron's Creek Wine Vineyard. So they are a wine vineyard down in, they have multiple locations. Out here in Dallas in the Bishop Arts District. They have one in McKinney. They have one in Granbury. But they also have their main vineyard and villa in Fredericksburg, Texas. I actually went there one time. So you really taste like peach, honeydew, and a grapefruit. A lot of people don't like grapefruit. I like grapefruit within things, but not straight up to eat it. Yeah, but I highly recommend it. I love the staff there. They know me a lot, so when I come.
Is this the one place we went with?
Mercy.
Yes.
To wine taste, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that actually was really good.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
I'm gonna have to try that again.
You should.
I like that. I had another question, but I can't remember it. If I remember, I'll stop us and I'll ask you.
No worries.
Okay.
And you're dripping out today.
Thank you.
See, I didn't expect leather.
Yeah.
But leather.
Yeah.
The leather is leather.
I feel like there is a certain time of year where you can wear these type of boots. And it's not all the time. I think fall and winter, okay?
Right.
So I had to get it in while we had the time.
Right.
Because it's not going to, in the summer, I mean, you can wear leather boots or pleather or patent leather or whatever. I personally don't.
Yeah.
And a sweater vest, I feel like you can't do all the time.
It's well coordinated.
Thank you so much.
Here's the thing, right?
Yep.
You made a valid point with leather because I love leather. I have a lot of leather jackets. Y'all probably see me wear leather here a lot.
Leather.
And the thing is that I like to wear leather and I like to wear Timbs. I wore Timbs the first episode.
Okay, yeah.
And the thing is, moving to Dallas, how hot it is, I will take the fashion risk. Even though it's hot, even though it's 100 degrees,
it's for the look.
See, the sun shines too hard in Dallas for 4 months, but drip is forever.
I like that.
Drip is forever.
I like that. It is.
Right.
I feel like you are one of my more fashionable friends.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know who else I think of sometimes?
Who?
Don.
Don?
His stuff. We're gonna have to show them some pictures at some point.
We will. You know what? We'll drop Don's page, his photography page.
And y'all could take a look.
Yeah.
See, look at us putting our friends on.
Look at that.
Now, what are we doing?
Okay. Well, what is on your mind?
Oh.
And it's my turn.
I'm excited. What's your question?
Okay. This one, I feel like we've all kind of maybe talked about, and we've all kind of even maybe had experienced it.
Okay.
And been in that position. Whether if it's family, a lot of times in relationships, even maybe in the workplace. Is it better to be brutally honest or to spare someone's feelings?
Okay, so I default to honesty is the best policy. However, I am a very empathetic person, and I think a lot about how would I receive this in the moment. So I feel like you can sugarcoat things. That's hard. Give me an example. Give me a scenario.
Okay. In a scenario where it's better to be brutally honest.
Well, just give me a scenario of something happening and then ask me, would I be brutally honest or would I lie to like spare their feelings?
Okay. I don't want to make it so relationship focused. That's always the go-to, right?
Okay, yeah.
So how about this? Say you have a friend and you've hung out with them for some time and you're growing within that relationship, right?
Yeah.
And you enjoy their company, you know, like you hang out one-on-one or in like group settings.
Okay.
But you're starting to realize over time you are seeing a lot of their projections onto you. That you feel uncomfortable because they're maybe making comments that make you feel uncomfortable or feel like they're sliding you when you're around them. You show up full support and honest with them, but it always feels like they have this underlying animosity towards you. Now, do you address that directly and let them know what it is? Or do you spare their feelings and just say, hey, I'm going through some things. I don't really want to like...
and like create distance without telling them what's going on.
Exactly. How do you feel?
Ooh, I feel like I'm the type... You know what? I used to be very anti-confrontational. Now I think I'm more comfortable like confronting people. So I feel like...
What started that?
I used to be a people pleaser. Like...
A lot of us.
Yeah. And I feel like I just got fed up with like me extending myself for others in ways that they would not do the same for me.
Right.
And like, yeah, I wasn't happy. Like I was doing things to make other people happy and I was not happy. And so I was just like, yeah, I'm going to start just doing what I like to do and what makes me feel good. As long as it's not at the expense of others.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you at the same breath learned that we can't expect ourselves out of others?
Yeah, I think you and I have talked about this before too. Yeah, because like expectations, I'm going to just tell y'all, expectations will get you hurt a lot of the time. If you are expecting things out of other people, you can only control yourself and what you do. You can't control other people. It's okay to have expectations, but I think you also need to be okay with the fact that like they may not be met.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I say all that to say at this point in life, I think I would be direct with them. Like we're grown. Like I can tell you if I feel like you're coming at me in a way that's disrespectful or I don't feel loved by you or whatever the case may be. If you're my friend, you should be receptive to that and we should be able to talk and work through it. And if we're not, then like we probably don't need to be friends.
And you might even find like honestly like a place of clarity. And also they might be informed on actions and behaviors that they don't realize.
That is fair.
Because I've always said to myself, like even when it's like worse relationships, friendships, when someone is treating me a way that I don't feel is respectful, it's something in them and not me.
Yeah, that's the projection that you were talking about, right? Like it might be an insecurity or like something inside of them.
Right.
They're projecting that on you. Or to your point, like they may not even recognize that that's what they're doing.
However they receive it, I think the best way is how you communicate is what matters at the end of the day.
So would you be direct then?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be direct. And I feel like, I think that everyone, and I'm realizing this over time, a lot of people need reassurance. And that reassurance comes from a place of speaking objectively and not subjectively, and speaking because you don't want to be, because some people say logic versus emotions. You got to have both.
Yeah.
And to well balance that, to speak with logic, I feel like you have to lay out the scenario to provide a place of understanding of like where they're coming from, where you're coming from, and what the situation is. But with emotion, empathy, and also a place of understanding to create a sense of like, okay, like although I am hurt, how can we move past this, and how can, after we discuss this, not have any underlying feelings after the fact?
Yeah. So it doesn't keep, because it's not fair to somebody to say like, hey, we've worked through this problem. I've forgiven you. You've forgiven me, whatever. And then keep bringing it up later.
Yeah. And also that there's no bitterness.
Yeah. Because that could be,
yeah,
because that could be there. And even if you don't talk about it, like you're still feeling that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good question.
Thank you.
I like that because I think we need to get into our emotions sometimes. And like, these are real scenarios that I honestly have like encountered recently. So that's good stuff.
We all do though. We all do. And sometimes we don't even realize it.
Yeah. Like you got me thinking about it. I was like, oh, actually, I think I've like been in that place a couple times.
Well, you all let us know your thoughts on that. If you've experienced it, let us know how you have addressed those experiences. And also, if you're having a hard time with that, drop that. Someone might be able to share like any advice or tips, or someone might be able to also relate. You never know when you're going through the same thing someone else will.
I like that.
Cool.
We're a community at the end of the day.
Cool.
It's a pod. We're peas in it.
And we are in the pea pod.
All right.
All right.
I'm excited for this next one.
All right. So I know last episode we did story time. So today we're gonna go on a topic, and this topic is tied to a new segment called Pushin' P.
Pushin' P.
And what kind of P are we pushing?
Today?
Perspectives.
Yes.
Okay.
I was waiting for it. I wanted to say it, and I was like, let me let him say it. Let me let him say it. We're pushing perspective. I got really excited.
So the perspective we're pushing today essentially is Jesus in the gig economy. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean? How we balance faith with career hustle, freelancing, and side gigs as young adults. So with this topic, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, I wanted to lay out some stats that I pulled, really just to also lay the foundation and create some sense of kind of like hard, concrete evidence. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read this down for you all. According to Upwork Research Institute, an article written by the Global Newswire, which is a major publication, in May 2024, 38% of the U.S. workforce, or 64 million Americans, performed freelance work in 2023. And more than half, so which is about, I want to say the article said 52% were Gen Z professionals. That community mainly did not focus on financial gain. It also came from things such as flexibility in their schedule, working in an environment that doesn't have restrictions such as age, race, gender expectations, working from their location of choosing, because a lot of people like to work from home, you know that, or work from wherever they want to be at, a coffee shop. Oh, for sure. But also just the big things are doing work that they're passionate about and find meaning in, and also being able to take control over their career development and professional path, which I feel like for people who are, 9 to 5, corporate, and even just other like different white collar, blue collar work structures, is something that we all talk about. Like, I feel like our friends in our community, we talk about how like we would love to have work without restrictions, and be able to drive our like professional path in the way that we envision it, but also work in a work structure and environment that does not feel like we're subject to somebody else. Yeah. And because Gen Z, we like to be free. Yeah.
It's interesting that you call us Gen Z. I'm just gonna call that out. I feel like I'm a little older than PJ, y'all, a very tiny bit. And I consider myself a zillennial. So I was raised to think I was a millennial.
Wait, break down zillennial.
Zillennial is half millennial, half Gen Z. Okay. Not necessarily equal. Well, I said half. It's not equal parts, but you're a portion of each. Mm-hmm. Growing up, I was told that I was a millennial until I got to probably senior year of college, and they were like, actually, you're Gen Z. I was born on the cusp of millennial and Gen Z.
What was the what was the identity crisis?
It was like, I don't know. I feel like Gen Z, love y'all. You guys taught me how to do the heart like this. They are a very different breed of people. And I don't want to get us too far off. We can get into that into another episode. What do you mean,
like the YNs or something like that? Or?
No. Hey, yo. What is, not everybody knows what that means.
You know what? We'll drop a link or something.
No, it's more so like, I think Gen Z a lot of the time, especially in the workplace, they are viewed so differently than millennials. Right. Like millennials, I think, are very go with the flow. Low-key, millennials be getting bullied by the people above them and the people below them, because Gen Z be bullying millennials as well as the boomers. Is that about them?
Yeah, but that's so weird, because I see these articles that talk about ageism in the workplace, but it's mainly like older individuals in the workplace that say that they experience ageism. When I'm like, in my workspace experience, there's so many people that have tried to like son me, or nephew me.
Yeah, same. And I feel like I think now there's more ageism associated with older people in the or older folks. They love to say folks in the workplace, because they feel like they're getting pushed out by us. Yeah. But I also feel like a lot of times when it comes to like career progression and promotion, people look at you and they say, you're younger. You don't need to be level XYZ. You don't need to be making what's like this amount of money. Right. Like, don't be in my pocket. You don't know how much money I need. Facts. You don't know who I'm supporting. You don't know what I'm doing. So like, I think that's how we can kind of experience that ageism. But yeah, you were saying zillennial. I just wanted to say that I feel I'm a millennial and a zillennial. Like I attribute certain parts of my personality to each of those generations.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to clarify that.
I appreciate the clarification. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Sorry to interrupt, though.
No. That was great. That was great, because I learned something today.
Yeah.
So I did actually want to touch on, before the last part of the topic, was anecdotal experiences. So I know that, like, for example, we have friends who, this beautiful logo here.
Yeah.
Was created by our friend Paige.
Yes.
Paige, shout out to Paige.
Shout out to Paige. Yes. Another P. in the pod.
Indeed. And Paige, essentially, she does graphic design work, and she works for a company here out in, I don't want to give her that details.
Yeah, they don't need
she out here in Dallas. She works for a company, right? But we reached out to her directly and had like meetings set up, different like background work criterias aligned together for our logo here, and other just what's the word I want to say? Branding materials?
Oh yeah. We we'll just say that.
Yeah, just other branding materials that she put together for us, and that's her doing her own freelance work. Mm-hmm. And of course, nothing we do with our friends that have these skills is going to be free, and we want to make sure that they see that you're valued, and we're going to show the value and make sure that we get the best product that we can from the best people. So,
and she's so talented, like obviously.
Look at us.
She was a treasure to work with. Like, if she's comfortable, we'll share her information. Like, if anybody needs graphic design help or support, like, she's really amazing.
Right. And just another one also is one of my friends. You haven't met him, but he'll come to Dallas at some point.
Okay.
Back home in Florida. He does mechanic work and also electrician work.
Okay.
His name is Jaleel, and I'll link his information as well. He does freelance work, so he works for a construction company. Mm-hmm. But growing up, he always did work back, because he came here, I want to say when he was 18 from Jamaica.
Okay.
So he's always had mechanic work experience, and also knows how to do electrician work. So he
love a handyman.
Right. Handyman. So he like knows how to like, He'll turn your engine on tomorrow.
I'm weak.
And he'll have the lights running all throughout your crib, if it's 2 stories, 3 stories, or if it's a mansion.
Yeah, Jaleel.
Yeah, and every time I call him, he was like, because like I said, he came here when he was 18, so he was like, hey, what go on, brethren? Me got a side job. Me talk to you later now.
Oh yeah. Oh, you said you were Haitian. They know you're
Haitian.
An island boy.
Yeah, I'm Haitian. My Jamaican accent is probably bad. I apologize if I offended anyone.
That will probably happen more than once on the podcast in the future.
But yeah, like it's just great to see friends who like are using their skill set.
Yeah.
To benefit them and do it within their own liberties, whether if it's creative or whatever, professional, however that looks. But if you have any experience to share.
Yeah, I have a friend. I have a couple friends. I'm like, who do I talk about?
Your
One
friends
of them
are great.
They are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you say it like that? But I have a friend. Her name is Cindy, and she doesn't know I'm talking about her right now, so I'll have to tell her before we release this. But she is in real estate. She's also an attorney. She was in the military, like all around wonderful human being. And she started out doing real estate on the side. Now she's built an empire.
Wow.
Like, she has hundreds of doors. She doesn't work as an attorney anymore because she doesn't need the money from them.
Wow.
And she just like owns her own real estate business and does that full time now.
That's amazing.
Right? Like, that's the dream. And I think you touched on something earlier, like having autonomy of our time.
Yes.
And what we do. And I think that's a big reason that she was like, yeah, I mean, she was doing the real estate stuff on the side, but they'd be calling her at work like, hey, can you join this meeting? Can you do XYZ? She's on her way to a property. Like, no, I can't. So then
I'm getting to my own bag.
Right, exactly. So I feel like that's the goal for a lot of people, especially as Zillennials.
And Gen Zs.
Gen Z and millennials. It's not that we don't want to work. We just want to be more efficient, and we want to be able to like have autonomy of our time.
Facts.
So I don't think that's a bad thing. I think a lot of times people say we're lazy because we don't want to really work.
But we want to do what we want to do.
Exactly. I'm fine with working. Like, outside of work, like, you went back to school. I'm in school now. We're also doing this. Like, This is not it. It consumes time, you know?
It
so
does.
It's like, as long as it's something that we care about or we're passionate about, I feel like we're okay with putting in the work.
Like this podcast.
Yes.
I actually want to like touch on something, ending this topic here. So how does it apply to Jesus? And you talked about your friend Cindy.
Yes.
About autonomy with her time.
Yes.
One of the key points was time for what you do in terms of like your freelancing and time for God and how you juggle that.
Even outside of work, I would say, and like my aspirations and ambitions career-wise, I went through a period of time where I took a step back from a lot of things, and I had so much more time to spend in my devotional and prayer, just with God and focusing on my faith. When I jumped back into some of these things that you know about, but I'm not going to share right now with everybody, it took some of my time away from God, and I recognized that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I see myself falling back into old patterns that I don't need to be in. And, you know, I struggled with that for a little bit. I found a Bible verse that I want to share.
Amen.
And it basically was it's touching on the fact that, like, in spite of everything else going on in life, we still need to pursue and prioritize our time with God, and everything else will fall into place. So it's Matthew 6:33. And it states, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So as long as I'm in alignment with God and I'm doing what he is calling me to do, everything else will come. It'll fall into place. It'll fall. And it may not be what I expect or what I necessarily want, but it's what it's supposed to be.
His will.
And yes, exactly. And that has helped me a ton, just like recentering and prioritizing time with God, even if that means taking time away from like maybe work or other things I want to do outside of work.
That reminds me of what I've done now is I have like a men's Bible. It's called the Every Man's Bible. You can find it on Amazon. And I feel shout out to Every Man's Bible. It's NIV because it'd be hard for me to do King James Version.
Okay. They be thee, thou, the.
Thee, thou, hither. I'm like, man, just get Jesus across the street.
Wait, what's that version where they be Tony knows. Tony, what's the version?
Tony's behind the camera.
Is that what it's called? Tony's behind the camera. But I think it's, anyway, there's a version where it be little, Gen Z. That's the Gen Z version. That's what they need to read.
Look, that ain't my business.
Okay, anyway, your men's Bible.
Yes, my men's Bible. And honestly, I've allowed that to be incorporated within my like daily routine. I start my day, do some personal devotionals, make my breakfast, get my mind right in terms of like setting stone before I start my work day.
Yeah.
But I read basically maybe a chapter or a few from my men's Bible, and I allow it to align with how my work day or just my general day overall is going to go.
You can apply it.
Exactly. And I always feel like I've left fed, and it sets the tone really, and being able to be intentional with, okay, I'm going to step within my professional work. I'm going to get into work mode, but however, I'm going to let that lead with faith.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're going to, like, honestly, you can, I've like, I don't know if you have this experience, but you can flip to the Bible to one verse and it might be something you didn't know you needed for the moment you're going through.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ask you a specific one, but where are you at right now? Like, what are you reading? What's something that came up this week for you?
The book of Ephesians.
Okay.
And I recommend the book of Ephesians to anyone who really is getting started within their faith. I just always go back to it because it really applies to giving the instructions as a Christian, and Christian living, and just understanding, like, because it was Paul who wrote it. I want to say 660 AD. He wrote it while he was in jail in Ephesus. That's where Ephesians comes from. And I believe that was like a land of like they had a lot of gospel there. So really, when you go within the word, and I want to say it's between like chapters, I want to say like 4 and 5. You really dig into understanding like what are God's direct instructions that He gave, of course, to Paul to direct us, to let us know what are the guidelines as a Christian. So I recommend that, and it always kind of like makes me feel like, okay, I feel like as I'm reading it, I feel read.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes. The Bible is tea, y'all.
Yeah, it's
like
tea.
People don't, sometimes I feel like people don't talk about it, especially the Old Testament.
Yeah.
There is some wild stuff that happens.
Scandalous.
Wait, so there's one other thing, tying it back to like our work day and just career and stuff. How does faith ever come up in the workplace? Like, I think sometimes it's taboo to talk about your faith in the workplace.
I feel like in mine, it's hard to bring it up. Like, I feel like, because as a Christian, sometimes they might slip where you say amen or thank God.
Yes. Yes.
Honestly, yeah.
People be saying thank God though, and I'm like,
yeah. But I don't want to. Yeah, and I don't want to live in fear of bringing up my faith.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, like, we're supposed to be like the light, with the salt of the earth. But if I'm moving in darkness, how will you know that?
If you can't see it on me.
If you can't see it on me,
or if I'm afraid to share that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I feel like I was in a space when I was earlier in career where I was like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it because they tell us not to talk about my faith or our faith.
Right.
But now I feel very comfortable. Like, people ask me questions about what I do when I'm not at work. And I'll be talking about, on Sunday I have church, I go and serve,
Same.
I have Bible study, like, very open, and like, we work remotely, so I'm not close to people that I work with, but I'm at a point where I would invite people to church. Like, that's something I'm just sharing. I'll be anywhere, and now I'm not afraid to invite people to church. I used to be, I'll be at the club. You want to come to church? Here's a card. Okay.
Hey, y'all. I've seen it happen.
Yes, this is real. Like, so anyway, we're off topic. But
Look, last thing. I'll be at Run Club.
Come. We have Bible study.
Exactly.
I love that though. Like, and PJ and I feel like we're very open people, so it's not like we're closed-minded or we only talk to people who are also Christian, but we're just like not uncomfortable with sharing our faith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to close this topic out, I just have one last thing. So faith in financially straining situations and trusting the process to drive forward your creative and professional dreams is another big thing. I think that with this topic is huge because I think when, from a sense of like where the economy continues to go, inflation continues to happen, it really impacts a lot of folks' faith where it's tested, where they don't know like where their next meal may come from, or it's an economy of like check to check.
Things are coming to my mind.
Go ahead, because I kind of just started going.
No, it's good. I feel like there's a couple Bible verses. I wish I knew the exact like where they are.
And we can drop them.
Yes, once we find them. But there's a couple things. So one that I'm thinking about is like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. So even though you're in a space where you're like, I don't know what's going on, I'm scared, like that's when you should be trusting God.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like just in my faith, that's what I've realized. There's other Bible verses that are coming to mind, but I think we could talk about those.
We definitely talk about them. Cool.
But I like this topic. This is good.
It is. So we got heavy.
Yeah, we did.
Let's get light.
Let's get light.
So this episode is dropping after MLK weekend.
Yes.
So with that, we don't have to recap, but we can talk about what MLK is. I'll lay the foundation and what it usually looks like for us. And then from there, we just talk about like getting just more in depth about Black holidays.
Holidays.
Right. So of course, MLK Day happens every third January of the year.
Every third January?
Yes. No, third Monday. I'm glad you said that.
Every third January.
But third Monday, federal holiday. And it's to commemorate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And, of course, before he was a civil rights activist, leader, and legend, he was a father, a son, a brother, a husband, an Atlanta native, an ATLian.
Pastor.
I said minister?
Probably.
Well, maybe. But at the end of the day, he was a man that changed the world forever and had an impact on all Black individuals around this world. And couldn't thank him enough for what he did. But really, we really want to talk about how we celebrate in our own personal experiences. So I'll go first. MLK weekend, MLK Day, Dr. Martin Luther King, apologies, has always been impactful on me because I think growing up, I went to primarily Black schools when I was younger. So really, you can go to a parade when that comes around. A parade. Growing up in Florida, they have like I grew up in Fort Myers. They have the Stars Complex that shut down the whole street. We have MLK Street like everywhere, MLK Avenue everywhere. All that.
Those are interesting.
Right, and like you just have barbecues that happen. Florida, we got donks come out there. Just like a Chevy Caprice or whatever, or like you looking at me.
Oh yeah. He had to explain what this was to me.
Yeah, sitting on like 26, 28 inch rims or whatever. But really, just you have like the whole Black community coming out together just to really celebrate just a great man and the impact that he had for us to live in harmony and unity with all others, although through what we still go through. Yeah. But I think the last experience that I had that was really great was when I lived in Los Angeles. I went to Leimert Park. Leimert Park is right near or around the Crenshaw district in Los Angeles, and it's primarily Black neighborhood. And that's where you can go and like have like coffee. They have like a Black skate shop. You can go out there on a Sunday and they have all like the folks out there playing the drums and just having good community or whatever. And it's really like beautiful to see Black people living within that Blackness. Yeah. And last year I got to meet a whole bunch of great people. They had vendors. I bought like food and drinks just to support my people at the end of the day. Yeah. But I would say that has been my last greatest experience. But ultimately, that's how it's always been. I've always like set time for that because MLK just has had like an impact on my life. Where like growing up, I'd actually watch his speeches and see the way that he speaks. One of my favorite topics that he talked about was like utilitarians and like having to identify those that may utilize you as a resource, but not who you are. Yeah. And, because he talks about, judging those by the content of their character, but not the color of their skin. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Me. I was long-winded.
No, that was good. I think it gave people a basis. Most of us know who Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is, but I think like it just kind of sets the stone. I feel like my typical, like, if I think about traditions or things that I've done on MLK Day in the past, usually my sorority does like a day at the Capitol.
You want to shout them out?
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
I was trying to keep it demure, but
No, it's all good.
Yeah. So that is my sorority, or the sorority that I am I am a part of, and I'm really grateful for that. There's just so many wonderful women that I've looked up to throughout my lifetime who have been a part of it. And so growing up, I always watched them do like Day at the Capitol for our chapter.
Yeah.
They go to the Capitol City and then the Capitol building, and usually they'll do like an MLK Day breakfast or brunch or something like that.
Right.
And have different city officials come. And then there's always like walks, like they're not marathons or like they're just walks, you know, like breast cancer walks,
like the parades or whatever,
yeah, like that sort of thing. I feel like that's what we typically do, or we do MLK Day of Service.
Cool.
So at work, we don't get MLK Day off. I think now like some companies do.
I know mine does, yeah.
Yeah, mine doesn't. But instead, they call it a day of service. And so we're supposed to spend that day either learning about like Black and brown and African American specifically people, or like serving in some way for the communities.
Cool. And that's what he wanted, essentially.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
So I'm like, all right, I guess it's fine that we don't have a day off as long as there's not meetings, so I can actually do the things that they want us to do.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
That's great. And shout out to all the AKAs out there.
Okay, we see you.
Hey.
There was something else that you made me think of.
What's up?
It's escaping my... This has happened twice now today.
Well, it'll come back to you.
I hope so. Okay.
Hopefully.
Let's keep it moving.
But yeah, shout out to all the other holidays, you know, like Black holidays, like Kwanzaa.
Okay, this is it.
Yes.
It made me think of Kwanzaa. Okay, so you shared that you grew up going to a school with a lot of other people that looked like you.
Yeah.
I grew up in a community where not a lot of people looked like me, and so I felt the need to assimilate a lot of the time. One of the things that I always found to be so interesting is they would always be like, "Happy Kwanzaa," and I was just like, I don't know what Kwanzaa is. Like, I knew what it was, but I don't celebrate Kwanzaa. Like, just because I'm Black, they were like, "Oh, you celebrate Kwanzaa." Like, they assumed it was the same thing as like, I don't know, like Hanukkah is or something. And they were just like, "Happy Kwanzaa." Like, did you get any gifts? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
It'd be the ones that come out the gate like, "Oh my gosh, Umoja."
Yes. And I'm like, in theory, like I know some of the elements. Like I know there are, like the candles represent different things. Like there's harvest, all that kind of stuff. But it was just so funny to me that they assumed like, that's like me. Never mind. But it's...
You know what? You can hold on to it if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that because I don't think we're at the point where I can share all my opinions yet. But I just thought that was so funny. But I love Kwanzaa still as, you know, as we think about it as a Black holiday.
Cool.
I need to learn more about it. But they used to be like, "Happy Kwanzaa."
Look, this December, we will have a Kwanzaa segment.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Kwanzaa.
Let's do it.
I like it.
All right. But of course, we have Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Right.
I know about that one.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I have a funny story about Juneteenth really quickly. It's funny. My job where I work at now, I applied. So I started there in 2023. And I did my application process, my interviews. I got the offer. I was so excited. They're like, "Yeah, you got an offer." I'm like, "Hey, man, when's my start date?" "Your start date's Juneteenth."
Hey, yo. This seems a little... And you know what's funny, too? Because Juneteenth, like, I don't know if everybody knows the context. Like, Texas, it's very big.
Oh, yeah.
But in a lot of other states in the U.S., I don't think growing up, people really knew about it as much.
In Florida, I feel like we learned about it progressively later. But, like, it started, you know what city?
It's based... Well, I don't know what city.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll put it on the screen.
But in Texas, and so it's like very big here. Now that we both live here, it's
Right.
something like very deeply ingrained in a lot of the communities, and even outside of the state of Texas, a lot of people know about it.
Facts.
But growing up, I don't think it was that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Okay.
agree. But look, that's where we set the tone and changed that.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot more focus on Black holidays
Yeah.
these days, which I love. Something that's not a holiday, but it kind of is, are like, what are they called? Family reunions. Not exclusive to Black people, although Black family reunions, I think, are like a very different experience
Yeah.
than any other, we'll say, ethnic or racial groups' family reunions.
I'm going to say this. Haitian people don't have family reunions.
Okay.
Unless it's a wedding or a funeral.
Okay, so I'm going to speak to what I know, which is the Black American experience.
Okay, go ahead. Now, do you think?
And that's pretty much it. Just I feel like family reunions, it is a cultural gathering,
Right.
which is similar to Black holidays, but maybe tangential, because it's not actually a holiday.
Yeah.
What is a Black holiday? What do you think? I just want to hear your thoughts.
To me, a Black holiday is one that is founded by Black people, recognized by Black people, that we dictate how it should be celebrated,
Okay.
what are the key elements and the characteristics, and it's centered around our community, and we should be leading how that is how it's basically celebrated.
Okay, I like that.
Although, of course, the government, which isn't primarily black, makes it federally recognized and or whatever, we ultimately are the ones who are the root of it.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
I love that definition. Cool. I'm in alignment with it. Let's keep that.
Cool.
Yeah, not all black holidays, that's a good point, though, are federally recognized.
Right.
Or even in the state, like even any term of, like, it's not necessarily recognized by the government, but they're just days that we like to celebrate as a community.
Truth. And I'll say, just lastly touching, like I said, I'm Haitian earlier. Shout out to Haitian Independence Day, which is on the 1st of every year. So it's January 1st. And Haitian Flag Day, which is on May 18th.
Okay, love
every
that.
year. So we'll have some, May 18th, we'll have something.
We'll have something.
So the last thing I want to quickly touch on with this topic is the Montgomery Riverboat Brawl, which is a new holiday.
It is a new holiday. It is not yet federally recognized.
But it's August 5th.
We love it.
2023.
It definitely is a black holiday.
Oh, for sure.
It's a black holiday.
For sure. If nobody knows what it is, it was a large fight. An attack on a black dock worker.
Not a fight.
Yes. that he was only trying to politely get those Caucasian individuals to move their pontoon
and
boat.
we love our Caucasian individuals.
Of course. And
this just was a moment of tension.
And he came with love, and they led with disagreement.
Yep.
So, really, ultimately, I wanted to capture it to jog your memory of what happened. I wrote a little bit of a story.
I'm so ready for this.
So, essentially, they pulled up with their pontoon boat.
Yep.
And the black dock worker, I'm going to give his name. It was in the article. Damian Pickett. We're going to call him Mr. Pickett. He's an elder.
Are we going to share the article sources?
Yes, we'll drop it in the link. It's by NPR.
Okay, thank you.
And he was wearing his safety vest, just trying to do his job. He walks up like politely, hey, the riverboat is trying to dock. We need you to move it out the way because your pontoon is where the vicinity is.
Yes.
Okay. And what they do? Nothing. They're chilling. They're like, we're here. I ain't worried about you.
Yeah, okay.
Toot. Let me drive the boat.
And they're on the pontoon?
Yes.
Okay, they're
on
the
pontoon. So after a solid minute, he's like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. He takes matters in his own hand, and he starts untying their boat. Like I told y'all, now I got to show y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
This is his job, people.
Yes, his job. The pontoon posse, they get out. They start getting in his face. They were so pissed off and walked up on him like he forgot to bring the mac and cheese at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Mr. Pickett then is like, okay, y'all want to play?
Yeah.
He throws off his hat.
I remember that.
He throws off his hat.
I remember seeing that.
Now, the last time a black man threw off his hat and it changed the trajectory of history in the United States.
Tell me about it.
Was Bobby Shmurda in the Hot Nigga video.
I need you to chill. I need you to chill, okay? Because, wow, that's really like throwing it back.
But there's more.
Okay.
Okay. So then there comes Aquaman. As you know, there's a brother who's swimming through the water because he sees our brother, Mr. Pickett, going through it with these white people, right?
That is why we need to know how to swim, y'all.
Yes. And he swam in jeans. You know how hard it is to swim in jeans?
It is very hard.
I don't even know how to swim.
We had to do that in gym class. It's extremely hard. In jeans? Yeah, and you had to learn how to take them off and like tie them and blow them up to use them as a flotation device.
Trying to make y'all Marines or something?
Hey, listen, like I said, this was a school where not a lot of the people looked like me.
So. Well, Michael Phelps got out the water, and he addressed the issue with him.
Okay.
Now at this point, it's just a melee. More folks are pulling up. More other of our fellow community are coming to support this brother.
Wait, because when I watched this, I was confused as to where all of these different people were coming from.
They were in the riverboat vicinity.
They were just in the vicinity and joined in.
Yeah, of the riverfront.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
And then the grand finale.
The chair.
Okay. Now, I haven't seen a chair this famous since the seat that Rosa Parks sat on in that bus.
You know what's
in
crazy?
The black community.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car. Anyway, we'll come back to that later.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
Relax. So that chair comes out of nowhere and boom.
Yes.
Royal Rumble.
I remember
WWE WrestleMania.
It was
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody's watching online. You got tweets saying, Lord, not the chair. The chair.
This is the holiday we're talking about, everybody.
Yeah.
We use the term holiday loosely.
Mm-hmm.
It's an event.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, as you all know, the video wraps up, police show up or whatever. I don't want to take too much time.
Right.
But I just want to quickly go through some tweets that I pulled.
Please, yes.
So these are all from Twitter. And I'll shout your at. Yeah, /X. Wow, man.
Yeah.
So the first one was from @Rodimus Prime. When the hat threw up, he put a bat signal that said the hat signal in the sky.
What?
Yes.
I want to see that.
I'll share it with you.
Okay.
The VJ Experience said, here's some names for the young guy that jumped in the water. C. Murda. Scuba Gooding Jr.
Oh.
Aquaman. Oh, my God. And then @Brit Loves Quincy said, Cedrus Elba. Nautical King Cole.
I like that.
Swimzell Washington.
A Swimzell.
Hey, OJ Swimson.
Please.
Underwater Brother.
Oh, wait. What's the nautical?
Oh, yeah. Nautical King Cole.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that could be a Twitter name.
I like that.
And then this last one was @Naima. Fade in the Water.
Fade in the water. That is a Negro spiritual for those of you that don't know. Wade in the water.
Yes.
I think that's what it's called. I actually think that's the technical name of the holiday.
Yeah.
Fade in the water.
Really?
I think that's what people call it.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing those.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
See, y'all, this is why I just think people should send us more interesting tweets that they see about that.
Facts.
Especially since we're coming upon that in the future.
Right.
It'll be interesting to plan for Fade in the Water this year.
Yeah. But it was a great second episode. I love the topics we talked about today.
We're tying it up now.
All right. So you want me to let the folks know where to find us?
Yes, please.
All right. So follow us on all socials. Twitter, which is X now.
Yes.
Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
2pods_1 podcast. We'll have it on the screen. Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. 2 Peas in a Pod. Please DM us. Let us know what you want us to talk about next.
Yeah.
As I said, we drop bi-weekly on Wednesdays. And what else are we missing?
What are you listening to?
What are we listening to? I'll ask you because you asked me first last time.
So this is an older song. Some of you may know Bow Wow from back in the day.
Okay.
So Fresh As I'm Is a song that is in my head. I've been playing that. I actually played it on the radio here. You know, you ain't steady tipping, you ain't fresh as I'm is. That's a jam, right?
It is.
What about you?
Me, like I said, I'm coming up on my year in Texas, so I'm listening to Texas by Big X the Plug.
Love Big X the Plug.
When I tell you Texas by Big X the Plug, it makes me feel like I have cowboy boots and a cowboy hat at the house.
Yes.
I walk around
I've
the crib.
seen you in them.
Yes. I walk around the crib with my cowboy hat and cowboy boots just alone.
I'm from Texas.
Yeah.
I like how like the way he talks, it sounds very Texas
does something
to
for
me.
you?
Maybe. But no, I just like it. He sounds like he's from Texas. And
Yeah,
what's the other one? The Largest?
Oh, the Largest, yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
Largest
like
dope.
him.
He's dope. I recommend his music always.
Yeah.
So that's where to find us. That's where we're listening to.
Yeah.
And that's where to listen to us at. So
Yeah.
anything before we let the people out? Or
I think that's it. We're just really grateful for you guys listening to us.
Yeah.
Like PJ said, let us know what you want to hear. And we'll catch you next time, 2 weeks from now on Wednesday.
2 Peas in a Pod, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.